Welcome back to Unintended Consequences, Episode 49, for July 5th, 2026. Today's profile, a policy that did the opposite of what its designers intended. In the spring of 2001, a mother in suburban Boston followed the new recommendation to the letter. She kept every trace of peanut butter out of her household. She checked labels at every store. She waited until her son turned 3 before allowing even a trace. By his 5th birthday, he reacted to a single bite of a peanut-containing cookie with hives and wheezing that required an emergency room visit. The rule had been written to protect children like hers. It had produced the opposite result. The recommendation originated with the American Academy of Pediatrics in 2000. At the time, pediatric allergists were confronting a clear rise in reported food allergies, especially to peanuts. They lacked any proven way to prevent them. The prevailing scientific view held that immature infant immune systems could be sensitized by early contact with highly allergenic proteins. Similar logic had already produced successful avoidance advice for other conditions, such as delaying wheat in families with celiac disease. The committee therefore issued a straightforward precautionary step. Infants with a family history of atopy should avoid peanuts until age 3. The guidance appeared in the widely circulated Pediatric Nutrition Handbook. It was quickly adopted by pediatricians across the United States. With minor variations, the same advice took hold in the United Kingdom and Australia. The advice moved rapidly into clinical practice. Well baby visits included printed handouts instructing parents to read every label. Parents were told to treat peanut products as a household hazard for the first 3 years. Manufacturers responded with peanut-free labeling on toddler snacks. Daycare centers adopted strict no peanut policies. Early observational data seemed to support the approach. Clinics reported fewer immediate reactions among the small number of children who had been strictly compliant. Skeptics existed. Some immunologists noted the absence of randomized evidence. They warned that complete avoidance might simply delay rather than prevent sensitization. Their cautions remained in specialist journals. Those cautions did not alter the public guidance until well into the following decade. Between 2000 and 2010, prevalence of peanut allergy among U.S. children roughly tripled. It reached an estimated 2% by most population surveys. The same pattern appeared in the United Kingdom after parallel advice was issued. The causal mechanism now appears straightforward. Prolonged avoidance left the developing immune system without any opportunity to develop regulatory tolerance to peanut proteins. When exposure finally occurred, often around school age, the response was more likely to be allergic. The effect was strongest precisely among the at-risk infants the guideline had targeted. A generation of children therefore grew up with both the elevated allergy rates and the secondary burdens of epinephrine prescriptions. Those children also faced school restrictions and persistent parental anxiety. The policy had treated absence of exposure as a neutral state. In reality, absence itself was an active immunological intervention. The turning point arrived with the 2015 LEAP trial. It was a randomized study of 640 high-risk infants conducted in the United Kingdom. Children introduced to peanut products between 4 and 11 months of age showed an 81% reduction in peanut allergy by age 5 compared with the avoidance group. Within 2 years, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases issued new interim guidance. The American Academy of Pediatrics formally reversed its earlier recommendation in 2017. Current U.S. guidelines now encourage early introduction for most infants. No new wave of adverse effects from early feeding has been documented. Clinicians continue to monitor infants with severe eczema or existing egg allergy who require supervised introduction. The episode stands as one of the few public health reversals driven by a single, well-powered randomized trial rather than observational trends alone. Precautionary rules are still interventions. They change the environment in which biological systems develop. When those rules rest on incomplete mechanistic understanding, the direction of the effect can invert. Randomized trials remain the most reliable way to detect such inversions. yet they are often mounted only after harm has already accumulated at population scale. The peanut case therefore raises a standing question for any new avoidance or restriction policy in medicine or public health. What data would be required to prove the policy is not itself creating the outcome it seeks to prevent? We'll leave it there for today. Thanks for thinking through this one with me. If you know someone who loves a good cautionary tale, send it their way, and I'll see you tomorrow with another. And if you'd rather watch than listen, find us on YouTube at Nerra Network. Links in the show notes. And before you go, this show is part of the Nerra Network, a family of daily podcasts on tech, science, and markets. Each one a short, sharp briefing you can finish on the commute. If today earned its place in your feed, here's your next listen. OmniView, a balanced daily world news briefing that takes every side seriously. Find every show free at nerranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.